I'm there.
I went to Jamaica 2 years ago. I was in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be going back to Jamaica again this year. Like before then, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, I'm very glad to be on this, Bango FM. And the best that I can do is to contribute to whatever system it is so people will understand. That is the job. So Jamaica, I was in Jamaica. And I went to the Tove Gong studio. The Tove Gong studio is the studio where Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and Ben Wheeler, Bonnie Spear, and Peter Tosh. I saw all the pictures. I saw all the beginning. I happened to see the guitar of Bob Marley, and I saw the guitar of Aston Barrett. Aston Barrett is the bass man of the Wailers. So that tells you I know a lot about Rasta. Very, very much.
Yes, yes.
So we toured all the place, and I saw, and I studied, because we went there to present Islam to those who we think they need Islam. So when we went there, we went to the place called Yalas. This Yalas, according to what historians told us, is that they originally were the Muslims that came from the shores of Africa to Jamaica. That is the New World. They brought them. So when they come and they were fighting the white man, and they said, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, they were waking themselves in frenzy. So the place, welcome to Yalas. It's Ya Allahs. Those who are into saying Ya Allah. So they wrote it, welcome to Yalas. So we went there. And I went to the Rocks, one of the, in Trench Town. It's a Trench Town place. But within that Trench Town, there is a group of people who are very, very deep into Rasta. So we went there and we were asking them about, the religion of Rasta. And they were explaining things. That it began from the very beginning. It's an old religion. It has been there long before people even think about religion. As a matter of fact, Solomon, they bring a lot of information about Solomon, this and that. And so, in Islam, for example, when we consider the Rasta and any other group of religious things that are, Allah said in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا. To each and every nation, we have sent a messenger. وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا خَلَا فِيهَا نَذِيرٌ. There is not a single community, but a warner have passed through them. So if, and the messenger also said, we have 144,000 messengers that passed the earth. The Quran mentioned only 25. But the messenger said 144,000 messengers passed the earth. So the Quran mentioned just 25. Now the rest of the messengers and prophets, they came and left. So now if you ask me, for example, is Buddha a prophet of God or messenger of God? I cannot say yes, I cannot say no. The only thing I can say is that the Quran didn't mention Buddha as a messenger or prophet of God. So I'm not going to mention him as a messenger of God or a prophet of God. He may be a prophet or a messenger. In time, those who follow him might have, smeared the religion and make it something else. So there is that tendency. Even today, if you look at Islam and Christianity, the Muslim think, okay, some of the teachings of Jesus Christ have been compromised by his followers. That is 2,000 years ago. So we're talking about Hinduism, we're talking 7,000 years ago. That is a long time. So Allah, the Messenger said, we have so many religions that passed the earth. Maybe, I'm not saying they are a religion. Maybe it is a form of a religion in the ancient time that the Quran didn't mention. But the Messenger said, many messengers have come. We know only 25 messengers. The rest we don't know. Because there is no need for Allah. Allah didn't see need or fit to mention that. So Rasta as a group of people, as a culture, as a religion, as an advancement, as a force to reckon with, I respect them.
Somebody may say the submission you have made may be a support that Buddhism is a monotheist religion, or it is accepted in Islam.
Well, somebody may say that, but I didn't say that. Clearly, I'm going to repeat. The Quran said many messengers have passed the earth. So someone will come and say, in fact, the Hindus ask me a lot, and the Buddhists, they ask me a lot, because we do, interfaith dialogue. So they come and they say, do you believe that Buddha is a messenger of God? I say, he may or may not be. The Quran didn't say he is, so therefore, I'm not going to say he is. But Islam believe in many messengers have walked the earth. Some, Allah said, Rusulan ubashirina wa munzirina There's just ayah that Allah is saying that some of the messengers will mention them, some will not mention them. The Quran is that. So maybe he's part of them. Maybe he's not part of them.
So
I'm not explicitly going to say he is or he's not. I'll just leave
is
it.
Buddhism idolatry, or it is of the La ilaha illallah?
Buddhism is a religion that came from Hinduism. It was started by a person called Siddhartha Gautama. This man is a prince. So eventually he wants to explore the world and see why is it that there is suffering in the world. So he went and sat under a tree called Bud. That Bud, he was tired, he became so weak, so he was standing there and meditating. And he said he received enlightenment. That enlightenment is the 10 principles of Buddha, which his followers follow. And from that 10 principles, they wrote books, and many antiquities of reference were made towards it. So, I cannot tell precisely whether he is a messenger or he's not a messenger, since the Quran didn't mention that.
I have not gone from the question I'm asking.
Okay, well, say it again.
The path of Buddhism.
Right.
Looking at it,
Yes.
is it shirk?
Shirk, I would define a shirk. Shirk is making associates of God Almighty. If you take anyone and give him the same attribute that belongs to God and God alone, that becomes shirk. You know, it's association partner with Allah, and that is one of the strongest or the most, rejected idea in Islam, shirk, because Allah forgives any kind of thing that a person does, but shirk, Allah does not forget. But Allah can forget shirk if by the time that the person dies, he repent to Allah and ask for forgiveness. That can be forgiven. So Hinduism or Buddhism, is it Buddhism, right? If there is anything that they do that causes shirk, then definitely it will not be accepted in Islam. If the followers of Buddha are saying that he is God, he is Almighty, he is beyond Nirvana, which is the highest enlightenment body, then Islam would not accept it, because all those belong to Allah.
I know my listeners have had ears.
Right.
Explicit information might be looking like you are attesting to their fact, or you are siding with Buddhism. If you don't go ahead to say that they are shirkists, excuse me. And that's why I was on that particular point. Let's come to the Rastafari people. Among the Rastafari people, we have a couple of practice with them. They do marijuana, they smoke marijuana, they wear dreadlocks and other stuff. But around here we have the issues of marijuana, the use of marijuana. Let's just say weed,
Right.
and that of dreadlocks. You have mentioned that as a religion, and they have heard you properly. I want to know, can Islam compromise the smoke of marijuana, the smoking of marijuana?
Okay. Islam mentioned one word, close to, or maybe it's a hammer. So Allah warned in the Quran, O you who believe, most certainly intoxicants and gambling and idolatry and idol worship are the handiwork of Satan. Remove yourself away from these things so that you will be successful. So the word hammer in Arabic, it means something that cloud your sense of reasoning. Al-hammer, it covers the sense of reasoning. So you will not be in a position to make good judgment, or you'll be happy just for no reason. Why would you be happy for no reason? People just be happy and they're laughing for no reason. Islam doesn't agree with that, because it doesn't go with logic and science. And so therefore, Islam will not accept anything that will forge a cloud around the mind of the person. So if a person smokes marijuana and if his mind become default and he doesn't act naturally, or he doesn't act, in a natural form, clearly you could tell that something have overtaken him. If someone drink wine or drink wine or beer and he gets the force of the mind, Islam will not accept that also. If someone take a drug, take cocaine or heroin, and he is in that state of mind, Islam called that hamar. So one word for that, Allah said, innamal hamar, most certainly hamar, anything that defaults your mind are the handiwork of Satan. So shun all that. So if all what I've just mentioned fall within the category of hamar and describe a person that he have a default mind, then indeed Islam will not accept it.
What of the wearing of dreadlocks?
The dreadlock.
Yes.
Okay, dreadlock has been with us for a very, very long time. It is not a new thing in the society. It is not something that you see people wearing dreadlock and you go, okay, this is dreadlock, this is something new. Okay, it's been there for a long time. Those who doesn't know, maybe they don't know because they didn't do research about it. But dreadlock has been there for a very long time. It is now that it is surfacing. But it looks so very intimidating if somebody is putting on a dreadlock. It's like, okay, they identify anything with dreadlock to smoking reefer. They identify anything with dreadlock to being harmful. Somebody who is dangerous, somebody who you can't hang around with, somebody that you can't even give you a job to do because he's in dreadlock. That's the perception. So perception may not always be true. Because I've seen a lot of Muslims all over the place. In Mecca, I've seen a lot of Muslims. They have dreadlock. I don't know which country they came from. They are good Muslims, but they have dreadlock on, but they make it so very nice and they put their heart inside it. And so you cannot judge that, okay, this guy have a dreadlock in his head, so therefore he's haram, he's going to go to hell or something like that. Things like that, you leave it to Allah to judge.
What I'm talking about is the Quran and the Ahadith.
Now, yes.
Has it something with dreadlocks?
No, the Quran never mentioned anything explicit like dreadlock. And the Hadith never mentioned anything. Maybe I didn't see that part yet. If it is there, I haven't seen it. But I've never seen any Quranic verse that talks specific about dreadlock. But the Quran talk about, the personality of a person. There is so many hadiths that the messenger said, the mushriks,